Last night I was perusing TikTok and came across a demo announcement for a game that really piqued my interest. Tamashika. It was fast-paced, neon-lit, and absolutely stunning, and I was instantly hooked. From the very first frame, it looked like a chaotic fever dream, in the best way possible. Hand-drawn animation, razor-sharp combat, and a color palette that could very well induce a seizure? Count me in. Of course, I had to try it out. So today I booted it up and played through the demo, which lasts about 30 minutes depending on how fast you can get good. And I was not prepared. It wastes zero time easing you in. No cinematic intro, no dramatic monologue, no tutorials holding your hand. You're dropped straight into the action, armed with just the basics. A movement tutorial, and then it tells you how to knife. That's it. Knifing in Tamashika isn't just a melee attack, it's the core mechanic. It's a parry. When enemies charge at you, wildly swinging at you with weapons, your only real defense is to time your knife with the precise moment the Japanese character flashes on screen. That character represents the parry window, and if you nail it, you slice your enemy clean in half. If you miss it, you get slapped back to the last checkpoint, which most of the time is all the way back to the start of the level. What makes this mechanic really shine is how unpredictable it feels at first. An enemy will just come at you, suddenly swinging its knife, and each enemy you fight requires focus. Your instinct is to click parry as soon as the enemy swings, but you need to wait a second, be patient, or else you're going to be the one cut in half. Add to that the variability of the ranged enemies, where you need to parry their projectile instead of their sword. It forces you to stay alert. You can't zone out. This game demands your full attention. And it's not just one enemy at a time. Tamashika throws waves of enemies at you. Dudes with swords, guys firing triple shot guns, projectile spam, you name it. And you have to react instantly. As you turn a corner and one enemy comes at you from behind while another swings at you from the front, you have to be prepared for anything. It becomes this beautiful rhythm of read, react, repeat. And while you do have a gun, it's not your safety net. It has limited ammo and a long reload time, so it's really only there for strategic use, taking down distant threats before they can enter your melee range. Rely on it too much, and you're defenseless. Ignore it, and you're overwhelmed. The game's difficulty is brutal, but fair. You'll die a ton, but each time you restart, you get better. Not because the game gives you upgrades, but because you upgrade. This isn't a roguelike. You learn the rhythms. You internalize the timings. Suddenly, what felt impossible 5 minutes ago has now been solidified in your muscle memory. You respawn and remember where that pesky enemy that shot you in the back was. It's a masterclass in flow state gameplay. And just when you think you've got the hang of it, Tamashika hits you with something new, like the balloon mechanic. Shooting them doesn't do anything, right? Wrong. You'll encounter massive gaps between platforms, and the only way across is to shoot these yellow balloons. When you shoot them, they pop and launch you forward with a burst of momentum. You have to chain these together mid-run, sometimes while dodging enemy fire. It adds this insane parkour dimension to the game, where movement becomes part of the combat puzzle. Mess up a shot, you fall. Miss a jump, restart. But when you get it right, it feels impeccable. While you're figuring all of this out on the fly, this pulse-pounding, cyberfunk techno soundtrack is blasting into your headphones. The visuals just exemplify this. Tamashika's art style can only be described as seizure-inducing, in the best way imaginable. Imagine if Fooly Cooley had a child with Hotline Miami, and then the child took acid. The hallways bend and morph in front of you as you walk. The enemies have this raw sketchbook style to them, and the screen shakes like you're in the middle of a Bond strike. It's disorienting, but in the best possible way, and it really gets you immersed. If you have epilepsy, definitely steer clear, but for everyone else, it's incredible. There's almost a rhythm to the way the combat flows. You start out being absolutely ass, getting hit, missing parries, wasting ammo. But then, the game sort of seeps into your muscle memory. You stop thinking, you start reacting. With every successful parry, you feel yourself improving. Every room you clear is a sigh of relief. You become obsessed with speed. How fast can I clear this room? Can I keep my momentum going through the next zone? And once you finish the main levels, you get one super long level that you can race through as the timer tracks your speed. This just further reinforces the speedrun-esque mentality you adopt while playing this game. What really surprised me though, is that I usually don't like games like this. I've never played Ultra Kill, Ghost Runner, or any of those insanely fast arcade shooters. They've always looked cool, but I figured they weren't for me. I thought I wouldn't be able to keep up, or that the fast-paced gameplay would just frustrate me. But Tamashika changed that. It clicked. It felt good. Like, really good, in a way that made me sad when the demo ended. Even after dying 10, 15 times in the same room, I wanted to try again. I wasn't annoyed, I was excited to perfect my strategy. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is how well the game escalates. Even though it's a demo that lasts only about 30 minutes, the first few rooms are pretty intense, sure, but halfway through the demo, enemies start mixing in multi-hit attacks, multiple enemies swinging from different sides, and rapid-fire projectiles that catch you off guard even after you've gotten used to their patterns. It keeps you guessing, it keeps you sharp. There's something addictive about the way this game respects your time. It doesn't bog you down with upgrades, currencies, or different systems. It's straight up action. You either get better, or you don't. And when you do get better, the payoff is incredibly satisfying. It's like speedrunning a fever dream, one where you continuously die and start anew. If this is just the demo, I cannot imagine what the full game is going to be like. More weapons, more movement tech, boss fights. I am incredibly excited to see whatever new systems the developer plans to implement before the full release. Tamashika showed up out of nowhere for me, and it's already one of the most exciting indie demos I've played in a long time. If you like fast-paced combat, raw and chaotic visuals, and a game that forces you into a flow state, then go download this demo. Seriously, I don't care if you think you're bad at these kinds of games, I did too. But Tamashika gets you there. You just have to stay alive long enough to find your rhythm.